Good morning. Good morning.
Yep. Good morning from me to you. Good afternoon from you to me. Good night, good evening, good spot, wherever which part of the world you're at. You don't know how the badness go. Nice and decent people. Manners and respect to you for tuning back in to BBK Sports. Thank you for joining me from all over the globe. Football has united us yesterday, today, and in the future to talk about the beautiful game. And we have midweek fixtures, y'all. The fixture pileup is upon us. The reason why you assemble a massive squad so you can navigate said congestion. But I don't think a lot of teams are prepared for this. I don't think a lot of teams realize just how much football is going to be played, and they're forced to realize it, and then it's like, oh shit, excuses are starting to formulate, and I don't like it. I really don't like the well, it's the same amount of games as last year. It's the same amount. 38 games. We'll play about 10 to 12 Champions League games if you're lucky. And if you're lucky enough, you play 4 or 5 league games, EFL Cup, and you should win that. Same amount of games. It's just that the midweek fixture pile up. You play Sunday, and you play Wednesday, and then you play Saturday. It is taxing, but you were paid accordingly to do said job. Yeah. Now let me just pull up the Premier League table just to look at the fixtures of December. So in December, most teams will play a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games in a month, Premier League. That's not even the Champions League fixtures yet. 8 Premier League games in a month with Champions League fixtures and FA Cup fixtures kick in next month. This is why you build a squad. Yeah? But before I say what I need to say and all them something there, do a quick roll call for the legendary. The early birds are always here. Man, like, Wahaha, what you telling me, bro? You're good, yeah? Hope everything is good on your end. BX Gunner, what you telling me, my G? So happy Odegaard is back. But is he though? Is Odegaard back to start? He must. Because he has to play some of these games, man. Declan Rice cannot play both these games 90 minutes. And he's projected to start. Yeah. This lineup that's projected to start is not what I had in mind. Because it has Saliba Gabriel still out, obviously. But it has Kelly coming in for Calafiori. I'm not so sure that's a great idea, Kelly coming in for Calafiori at left back against the aerial monsters and the set piece extraordinaires that Brentford are. I'm not sure Skelly is good enough in the air to win some of these challenges with these long throws. That damn Coyote, when he starts to long, right, I think that boy must just goes to training and just does this. Or he goes to the gym and just works on shoulders and arm strength. The way he's able to get that. It's like a kick. But it has Skelly come in at left back, and I'm not sure tactically that's good. Because Calafiori played 45 minutes against Chelsea. He didn't come off due to injury. He came off because he was booked. And because of the way he plays, and Mikel didn't trust him to play another 45 on a yellow. Big up to 21 of you locked in, silent listeners. Wipe your feet as you enter the chat, aka / the like. But I'm not sure that Skelly is a good idea there. But okay, cool. But Declan is going to start. Zubi is going to start. And he has Odegaard coming back in the middle of the park. That's what's projected to start. Middle of Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard. So Wahaha is onto something. Madueke on the left, where he's not great. Let's be honest. He is not great there. Gyökeres down the middle. I'm cool with. And Saka on the right. Now, why the hell is they getting the rest before Declan Rice? You know, if anyone who's on an overload or in the red, it's probably Deckers, not Eze. Eze was eased into the team. Declan Rice been playing heavy minutes here, there, and everywhere. So if anyone needs a rest, it should be him. 1 second, people. It should be Deckers that be getting a rest in the middle of the park because, brother, I do not want to see a red cross next to that to number 41 on any of these injury reports that come out next. We don't want to be here tomorrow, an hour before the game, and then we see the lineup come out and where everyone is saying, "What happened to Declan? He's not in the squad. He's not on the bench." Like, what are we doing? But if he plays a full 90 against Brentford, then we can't expect him to play a full 90 away at Villa Park on Saturday, 3 days later, which he probably will play. You can't just be out there playing. You know, Declan Rice has a certain level. He has set the bar at a certain level. And when that level drops, it drags the team down. Because he's pretty much carrying Zubimendi. And big up to that damn Shane Goodner. Yeah, because Shane said this as well, you know. Shane says Declan Rice will be doing so much more running this year, playing next to Zubimendi, dragging him along. More running that he didn't have to do this much running last year, playing with Partey, and the year before that. Because him and Partey had a good little partnership going on there. And Partey is a better player than Zubimendi on the ball. You know, over the summer when I was doing the transfer thing, I would always say depth, replacement, addition to the squad. You all remember this. I'm not making this up. I have the receipts, and I'm sure you all have too. Zubimendi wasn't an addition or an upgrade. It was a replacement for Partey. Adueke was depth. Norgard was depth. The addition was Gyökeres. The addition was Eze. I'm keen to see how Declan's minutes are managed. Because now we're down to our 2 backup center backs. If Norgard have to come in there, you out there playing a B team. Away at Villa Park can be very tricky. Back to his best. You know what's crazy, right? When he came on, and I'm watching Odegaard, and he's looking busy, and he's doing Odegaard things, and he gets the ball towards the left side of the pitch, and I said, right before he does it, I said, watch, he's about to do the scoop thing. And lo and behold, what did Odegaard do? Tried to scoop the damn ball and gave it away. Now, if I know that, Wahaha knows that, Sheldon knows that, DX Gunner knows it, Bluebird, everyone knows that he's going to do it. If we know it, damn sure the Chelsea players know it because they do scouts. They do scouting reports. They say when he gets into this position, look, he typically does this. And what does that translate to? Predictability. Predictability is very easy to defend against. I'm sitting there watching the TV and I said, bet he scoops this. He's going to scoop it. And we know this. They have an entire scouting department who does film sessions when they come up with their game plans. So we knew it. They knew it too. It's only their fucking job. Is man still glazing how Chelsea beat us 1-1 and moved down the table from second to third? That's magical. I think the catch-up caught Lewis outside. Caught him out yesterday when he was over-celebrating the draw. They've done it. They have over-celebrated. And anyone who's telling you that Chelsea haven't over-celebrated a draw is just a hater, like Wahaha says yesterday, was being called a hater, or they're just not paying attention to the landscape. You know, but the way it's kind of like when they're celebrating the draw. It's like, you know, when everyone else, you go out with your homeboys at the club, and everyone else finds something and beat, and the Chelsea guy is celebrating getting a hug. You know, City got 3 points, United got 3 points, Liverpool got 3 points. Everyone else got 3 points, and man is over here celebrating the draw. They did too much. Shit, can you imagine if they won the game? They would have had a parade. Yeah. Man is celebrating a hug. Not even a kiss, a hug. and everybody else is clapping cheeks. I take MLS. I take a midfield of MLS, Norgard and Odegaard against Brentford. The guards, battle of the guards. Odegaard, Norgard, Damsgaard. This is something, you know. And this is something he's going to do regardless. He's going to do this from left back. When he steps into that midfield, he's going to do that. Or maybe not. Because maybe Arteta doesn't trust in Capier and a Mascara as much as he would trust a Gabriel Saliba to leave them on their own and say, yeah, you go ahead and vacate. Step into the space. As they're getting dropped, arrested. You know, this is one of the things we know, but we can't prove. You remember training day? Officer Hoyt. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. We know this, but we can't prove it. So we just low it. Big up to Darren. And I respect G. Ezra, Rice, Timber need to drop out. I'm fully with the Rice and the Timber, but I wouldn't mind if Ezra plays. I'm being honest. But like Waha says, it's the Arteta way. He will be dropped. He will be. Or he'll be put out left. The captain is back. Top Shata is back. Big up, Mateo. Ethan. Oh, Lord, I don't forget Ethan was in the squad, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Because he's not playing. The only way Ethan touches pitch, you know the conditions. The conditions have to be, we have to be at the Emirates, and Odegaard has to get injured. We are at the Emirates, yeah? Oh, yeah, it's a home game. So if Odegaard gets injured, Ethan might play. Those are the only conditions that he plays in the Premier League. Starts in the Cups. I'm like Monster in the house. What you telling me? I know I just saw LFC Monster. Damn, I just went mad. There he is. We got dudes and dudettes. Hope you're good, my G. Already got the merch on. Beanie looks fire. So I was actually set this a long time ago. From one of my long-time supporters from Canada. Yeah, it was just cold in the house. I don't know what the hell. Wife got the house on freeze. Let me just throw this on. Keep myself warm. Sit here and waffle. It doesn't matter what campaign. They run it. Big up, man. Man doesn't respect G. Super Mendy was a Jorginho replacement because they are registered as traditional CDMs. If Zubi isn't deployed correctly, he looks out of place. And you notice how different he looked in the Champions League games versus the Premier League games. He's having a hard time adjusting. He is. You know, the physicality of the Premier League is getting to him. You see how, you know, the Barcelona Chelsea game, Barcelona couldn't deal with the physicality. And that's why they thought they could just run around and just push everyone and end up getting the red card and shit. To be fair, without Gyökeres, we haven't controlled games because we haven't had the traditional spaces since he can force the line back. I think he starts tomorrow. I think he definitely starts. And you know, I don't think Kai. I think Kai has hit another setback as his projected return date went from early December, which we are in right now, to late December, which we knew because that's what the Germans said. The Germans sent him back home and said he had a minor setback. But out of all the players that we're missing, you know, I wouldn't say that he is one of them. If I'm being completely honest. Odegaard's stagnation is baffling, but let me see what he does coming back. We know what we're gonna see. He's gonna run around. He's gonna be busy. He's gonna be active. You know, the game is not gonna be wide open like the Olympiacos game where he was actually playing well. And it's night and day. You know, Premier League, Champions League is different stuff. And I don't know if this is the actual lineup that's projected on football with midweek left wing, I'm not sure you get the best out of Odegaard that way. You'll probably see a whole lot of interchange between him and Saka because Nani is actually better on the right. Saka's actually better at Nani at the left. He's better on both wings, but Nani is not great on the left. I'm not gonna lie. Even at Chelsea, he was ass on the left. We may even see him shoehorn Eze out there to get Odegaard back in. But with rest's sake, Nani actually scored against Bayern. Nani was non-existent versus Chelsea. I think the moment got to him. You know, we look like trash going forward. The attack is so far off the defense. And the thing is, it's almost like if Gyökeres is back in and Eze starts in the midfield, then it's our first team attack. Our first team attack, and 50% of our first team defense is missing, and the defense still looks better than the attack. How is that possible? You know, Superman, they replaced Jorginho, not Partey. Why does Norgard? Is Norgard registered as a 10? Norgard is a CM, isn't it? Partey was our starting 6. Mendy's our starting 6. Jorginho was our backup 6. Norgard is our backup 6. Partey hasn't been replaced. He was better than Zubi. Partey was press resistant receiving the ball from the back 4. You know, Partey doesn't get caught on the ball there versus Tottenham and gets lobbed. Big up to the assembled. Hope you are good. No, got to replace Elneny. Oh my days! I said Norgard replaced Elneny. You know, Jesus Christ, Elneny, the Egyptian. Oh Lord, I clocked him. I'm a little bit late, people. But take a minute, take about 30 seconds for us to acknowledge the man, the legend, and like the boss, Raw.
Maybach music.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown.
It's like boom, bye, bye, in a body boy head. You wanna promote the nasty man, them a feed dead.
Maybach music.
Dig him up, you know. The last time I played that, YouTube didn't flag it. You know, I'm like, oh shit, I got away with it. I got away with the Buju Bantada. I cut it short just enough to get away with it. But big up E-Ross in the building, man. Have to acknowledge him. It's not even optional. It's mandatory. It's what we do. MLS can't start this game aerially weak. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Calafiori was rested. He only played 45 minutes. So, you know, if we're taking him at face value, that's saying he is fit, he's rested, rotated, whichever. Mikhail's favorite words. There, then I prefer him against those long throws because they will get some long throws and they will lob him in there. MLS in the air, not his strongest. MLS at defending isn't his strongest, to be fair. He needs to focus on defending and positioning. He's not locked in for the season. Yeah, it seems like he has his mind made up that when he gets the ball, he's going one way. You know, and it switches. He switches off, you know, and being a good defender, really, it's two things, you know. It's really it's your concentration and your effort. Well, Odegaard hasn't gotten injured in a long time. It's time. Odegaard hasn't been fit in a long time, and his performances, his good ones, are far and far in between. But Jorginho is the template Arteta wants. I actually think Jorginho was levels above Norgard. I'm not gonna lie, yo. Jorginho just couldn't run, didn't have pace, right? But Mikel Merino doesn't have pace either. Sergio Busquets never had pace, but he read the game at a high level, you know. But I just don't think Norgard is it, man. As for Arteta, who want MLS to invert into midfield. And to be fair, I expect us to have high volume possession. And by high volume, I'm talking about 65% and up. And in that capacity, MLS can be useful, but defensively, with not our first choice center backs, it could be tricky. And we don't want to concede against this Brentford team. They're stubborn, They're stubborn. They're managed by a set piece coach, and a set piece coach could give us problems. They could give us a dose of our own medicine, just like Chelsea did. MLS need to be able to express himself going forward where he is most confident and quality. Offense first, defense second. And that's exactly what I'm saying when I said he is so focused on that side of the ball that he mentally switches off on that side. And hence the reason why he is second choice for left back. Because had Calafiori been fit last year, this is the rotation we would have been seeing. But injuries to Calafiori and some very, very good performances from Lewis Skelly in the left back position, made the conversation an actual conversation. I think we could say Rice replaced Partey, but Norgard is a downgrade on El Neni. We just needed an extra DM. Well, positionally, Rice replaced Granite. Forget about Kai. We won't see him till late January, and I'm calm with that. He can be a FA Cup striker. Him and Jesus. He can play him down the middle, Nani on the right, Jesus on the left, Ethan in the 10, Norgard, Marino, Benjamin White, these two, and Skelly. When we draw, Coventry or, Sheffield Wednesday or some shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, but it's one of many reasons Arteta can hold this long overdue P45. Wants a Jorginho type player in the midfield and a forward that doesn't score goal, and a left back that's all over the pitch. All over. 12 likes, 22 watching. Can we hit our magic number, our target of 20? Not a big ask, but I think we'll get there in the end. He'll be chipping, scooping, skipping, flicking, snotting, and turning back. See all those ings, but there's no scoring in there. There's not one scoring or one assisting. None of the INGs that I need. If we had Maino, Arteta would play him at left back. You probably would, Ricky Rose. Norgard replaced El Neni. Read that one out. That made me chuckle on the screen. Eros getting his daps, getting his love every time. Well deserved. Please, gang. I just left the Arteta hate recovery therapy session. Don't make me relapse. Please. Where were you at? Where were you at, Shell? Sheldon, where I forward from? MLS can't play in this team without Gabriel defending that channel. Gabriel is our left back / center back, the cleanup man, the anchor of the defense. There's a level of trust there. When you're MLS, you're a young player and you know that you got the juice going that way. And you have, one of the best center backs in the league, one of the best center backs in the world on form. Say, hey, go on, young fella. I got you. That's confidence, But as a young player, as a young, humble player, as MLS, when you get that green light from the defensive captain, don't abuse it. Bring your ass back. Lock in. Because there are times where you do need to lock in defensively, no matter how good you are as an attack. I've seen the Leeds versus Manchester City game this weekend. There was a passage of play when it was 2-2, and Leeds were on to City. They were on to them. And balls were flying in the box, and guess who I saw head two of them out? He won't even. Erling Haaland, the guy that they need on the halfway line. Yep, he was back there doing defensive duties. Sometimes you have to do that type of shit. You have to lock in and play some defense. So MLS, that's a talk someone needs to have with him. That's your next level of maturity. Yes, we know you're brilliant going forward, but not for 90 minutes. But for a certain passage of play in the game, I need you to switch on and recognize that we're under pressure here and just need you to tuck in a little bit. And you work on that enough over time, that relationship builds, then Gabriel won't have to tell him when to bomb forward or when to tuck in. He will just learn that. Big pause. Big pause, Doc. What are you doing? The good thing about this game, I don't think they can play Thiago. I think they'll rest him and play him against Spurs next game. That's a more winnable game. Yeah, that's a great point, because we look at rotation and rest, and we typically only focus on the big six teams as if the other 4 teams don't have to rest as well. Yeah. The only problem I say is the Brentfords of the world, the teams that are not in Europe, next week, this time, they will be resting while Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, City will all be playing while they're being rested. So they get a yeah, I don't know what doctor slipped that one in there. Jesus. Arteta's anonymous. Yeah, that was a huge pause, brother. I don't know what. Yeah, my lineup for tomorrow. Yeah, I would actually play Calafiori. I would rest Timber. Yes, I would. I know it's risky, but I would rest Timber and I would play Benjamin White. At some point he has to get some match fitness and some match sharpness. Now he is fit or thereabouts. Now he doesn't have to play a full 90. Shit. But I would play him. Timber needs to rest, man. We can't have Timber and Declan Rice goes down because then we become a whole new other team. We already know when one key player goes down, Arteta moves the whole damn team around. Remember last year when Timber wasn't available or when Timber got suspended for yellow card accumulation for wasting time and shit? He moved Partey right back and moved this guy to shuffle the whole team around. So we need to keep Timber fit, just as we need Declan. Timber, Gabriel, and Declan Rice. Need to keep them all fit. And we already got one of them out. So I'll play Benjamin White. In the midfield, I would actually play, I would go with Zubi, Odegaard in the 8, Eze in the 10. I'll play Martinelli left, Nani right, and Gyökeres. I would rest Saka. Well, not rest. I wouldn't start him. Keep him on the bench. 68 minutes, you win in the game, they don't have to come on. If you need them, they're there. Because Villa Park on Saturday could be long. Who have City and Chelsea got today, tomorrow? City has Fulham, Sunderland, and Chelsea has Leeds and Bournemouth. Yep. Yeah, so tonight's game. So what tonight's game's looking like? Fulham City tonight, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham. Hey, might check that out. But most people are going to be watching Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, yeah? Yeah. Chelsea has Leeds away tomorrow. Ellen Road. Well, I'm curious to see how the intensity levels in that game is. Because we see many, many times the team will get up for a game and leave all their energy in one fixture, and then the other fixture, they're flat. I seen Liverpool do it a couple of years ago when they came to the Emirates and played us, and then they went to Nottingham Forest and dropped points. Don't remember if it was a 0-0 loss or it was a 1-0 loss, but they dropped points. Joseph Jones said the team's much better with Gyökeres. False 9 makes us easy to play against. We actually concede more. Horses for courses, they say. White, Saliba, Mosquera, Calafiori tomorrow. No, White, Mosquera, and Capier, Calafiori. No Saliba. No, let him rest a little bit more. We need to play all players needing match fitness. Facts. Match fitness, match sharpness. I honestly fancy Brentford considering how tired the Arsenal team looked versus Chelsea. Yeah, and this is all the more reason to rotate. Now, I heard Arteta in the press conference saying that Chelsea played Tuesday and we played Wednesday in the Champions League, and he kind of throw that in there. It's kind of like when people say, "I'm not using this as an excuse." Then why did you mention it then? We got all these players injured. Not that I'm using injuries as an excuse. Then why even bring it up? Because the mere mention of it screams excuse. So don't fucking mention it at all. What are we doing? Yeah, this Villa game, it worries me. And the FPL lineups, yeah. But I might even quit. I got 24 fucking points. My goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, was the highest scoring. I'm Erling Haaland, my captain, gave me 4 points. All teams are favorites to win will win. I think there's an upset in the cards. Now, tonight's games, Bournemouth, Everton, it's at Vitality Stadium, so I'm guessing Bournemouth favorite. I think I put some predictions in here. Bournemouth, I actually have that as a draw, you know. Yep, I have that going down as a 2-2. I can see that being a draw. Now, Fulham versus City. I think City get over the line with that one. Newcastle v Tottenham, though, is a little tricky. Because Tottenham, prior to Arsenal, prior to PSG in the Champions League, road record was top-notch. I think they have the second best or the best road record in the league. Even with the loss to us, their road record is pretty good. Before I lie and say they're the best, I'll have a look. Away record. Well, we have the best away record now. 14 points. Chelsea, 13 points. Tottenham, third with 13 points. Chelsea above them on goal difference. So, they travel well. Because when they go on the road, they can afford to not play football. They can afford to sit behind the ball and defend and defend. The North London faithful don't allow them to do that. So, Newcastle, Tottenham. Newcastle are coming into some form. That's a tricky one, you know. I'm not going to lie. But the confidence at Tottenham is so low right now. But then again, it's Tottenham. How many times have we seen Tottenham lose at home to that? Even last year, I seen these men lose to Ipswich at home. But go to Villa Park and slap up Villa, and then go to City and slap up City. And they went to City this year and slapped up City 2-0 comfortable. But now, can they do the same to Newcastle? Newcastle gave us a good game. Newcastle gave Liverpool a good game to the 90+6 minute. But I think Newcastle just edges it 2-1. I think Wissa's back. Eddie Howe said he plays like a behind closed doors game the other day, and he's looking good and all that stuff. So yeah, I think Newcastle. I mean, big up the Geordies. I think we'll have a night out session with the Geordie Dread tonight. Should Newcastle put a couple past Spurs, because Spurs are falling like damn lead out the sky. They're 12th now. Them man were just third a couple weeks ago. They were part of that 18-point cluster. Yeah, and they've lost 2 in a row. And I can see them losing this one as well. I'm not gonna lie. So that's what I'm rolling with. A 2-1 to the Tottenham. To Newcastle, I mean. Yeah, good games today. We'll watch them, but we'll watch them and we'll be humble until we play. We will. In every group chat that you're in, the Arsenal fans are usually the loudest in the damn chat. Remember, after Liverpool United derby, Slot was saying he won't talk about the ref not stopping the match for the first goal, when proceeded to talk about minutes, how unfair they were, and his players wouldn't go down for no reason. Slot is learning very quickly that he needs to keep his mouth. He needs to be quiet a little bit, because when he was saying all that stuff, it just fed into more media scrutiny. And when the media scrutiny is onto him, because last year everyone loved him. He gave interviews, was smiling all the time, and everything was rosy in the garden. And this year he's really realizing that, this English media will build you up just to tear you down at a different level. I'm sure they do it in other places, but here or there, it's long. You think Slot will keep the same team for Sunderland? He'll bring Salah back in. I hope he really keeps it the same and gets some consistent. Now, he's bringing Salah back in, bro. He's bringing Mo Salah back in. Yeah. And it might upset the dynamic of the team. But if you keep Mo Salah on the bench for extended periods of time, he's going to start being asked questions. And right now, the less questions he's being asked, the better. Now, the ideal situation would be him to bring Mo Salah in and they win. Because if he brings them back in, if he brings Mo back in and they lose the game, especially at Anfield, uncomfortable questions again. But I think Mo starts. The question is, who sits? Because Ekatike would knock, was just a knock. He is back, you know. And I'm hearing, I didn't see the game, but I'm hearing that was one of Florian Wirtz's best game. Not sure if he scored or assisted or made a bunch of key passes or covered a whole lot of grass, which is what the stat that they use for him. But I don't know, man. But I think Mo comes back in. If he's in your FPL, you know, you can put him back in. A lot of people were shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I was too. I'm not complaining, but Arteta to the T. Newcastle will rush them. And I think that's what will happen, but Newcastle have to rush them and score. Because they can't counter. Tottenham is just a weird team, you know, because their best counter-attacking player is their center back. You know, Van de Ven. The ball gets turned over and it lands at Van de Ven's feet and he takes off. And he can hurt them. But this could be a 2-1, like I predicted. It could be a 1-1, or this could be a 4-0 Newcastle. You know, Newcastle are coming off a slapping up of Everton. And Everton was the most confident team in the Premier League after last week. After what they did at Old Trafford with 10 men, they were the most confident team in the Premier League. And Newcastle went there and put foot on neck, belt to ass. Walter Mata is hot shit right now. Yeah, man. There was some chick in the Joy the Dread group chat. They don't even call him Walter Mata. They call him Big Dick Nick over there. He got the Geordie women just screaming their draws. Panty's getting real heavy in the Northeast right now for the German. Newcastle's midfield would dominate over Spurs and be too good for them. 3-0 to the Geordies. Hey, I'm here for that. And I'm here for the Tottenham crash out on the catch up. Put Thiago in my FPL. You motherfucker. You would do that, wouldn't you? You would do that. Waha, you have a lot of pussy wall in you, you know that?
Your pussy wall, yo.
You would do that shit, don't you? Let me guess, you're going to captain Ollie Watkins next week. Won't you? Big up Anfield, the Red. We won away. How shit must they be? We won a game. Isak scored. We might be ending. Hey, I think you're going a little run here. You know, this was supposed to be the second win of the run. Because everyone and their mama predicted you to beat West Ham, innit? But, hey, we see. Arnslot did that. Some crap as Ange did at the beginning with the press. Then they switched up on him. He started answering angrily. Yep. As long as you're giving them extended answers and you're elaborating, you know, if you stare them down like Pep, or if you just give one word or condescending answers like Arteta. But Arteta is different because I think he is protected. He has some different level of protection that I don't, you know. But smile a lot, makes a good interview, they'll love you. But when the results turn, brother, I want one change from the West Ham game. Drop Sobozo in CM and make Hugo play Cam. Oh, Monster, what you think of that? I don't know about Maka. No Maka. Let me see who you got projected to start that game. Actually has Maka. He actually has your regular midfield. Maka, Gravenberch, Sobozo, Ekatike leading the line. Gakpo left, Mo Salah right. So Isak. Nah. So I probably don't. This probably won't come true. Isak is not getting dropped, and especially not after he scored. Yeah, I'm not sure Ekatike is a Cam. 4-4-2 at best, but a Cam? I don't know. Sadly, no goal or assist for Wirtz, but heavily involved in everything. Was good about us versus West Ham. Another change that worked was playing Gomez at right back. Who would have thought, yeah, hey, Toot toot. Toot that horn, my G. Big up to Godfrey. Hope you're good, my G. Manners and respect. Captain Xerxes today. Really? Who you got? Who United got tomorrow? You got West Ham. And what's with United getting these lone games? You got Monday night game when everyone else played Saturday, Sunday. Now everyone is playing Tuesday, Wednesday. United got the lone game on Thursday. What the fuck's going on? What's up with this scheduling, Wahaha? Watkin is garbage. Maybe Rogers. But he will be on the side that causes us problems. Players I don't like enter my FPL, so Watkins has no chance. Yeah. Every time Foden picks up a run of form and I put him in my FPL, he resorts to the Foden that fell off the cliff after he won PFA Player of the Year. I don't get it. And Erling Haaland is due for a big performance, yeah? He's due for a big one, so, you know, he could be roughing up Bassi. It could be long today. Bournemouth, Semenyo form is back. 2-2 for Fulham. Josh King masterclass. 2-2 Spurs. Kudus and Walter Made to cook. Kamara to have another big game for Villa again, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, Emi Martinez gives us a little gift the same way he gave Mo Salah at Anfield. And that one isn't even a close game. Because I'm actually worried about that game. And then, you know, I'll sit back and be like, I want to start this stream like, that's what I was worried about, Villa. I was expecting the Villa to give us a better game than that. That's how I want to be starting this stream. Not, here we go again. You know, don't want no parts of that. It's incumbent upon Arsenal Football Club to make us forget the result at the weekend. Right? We're looking forward. Most of us already said, fuck, shit, we dropped points. And I'm actually glad it fell right when we have midweek fixtures, yeah? But it's up to the club to make us forget that shit we had at the weekend. And I think they will, right? I think they will respond. There is no way we can afford to drop points again. Because it will be like, remember last year when we were dropping points in clusters? Drop. You know, drop points at Sunderland, then you responded. Okay, you drop points away at Chelsea, you're at home. So respond. Guess what? The Sunderland game, who we had after Sunderland? Chelsea. It was Tottenham at home. Yeah, beat down settings. I don't remember who we played after Man City, after that draw. But I think we responded after that game as well. Big up to Uncle Views in the building. Manners and respect every time, my G. Hope you are good. Foden and Haaland as well won't get in. Haaland is due for a big game, man. Now, this would be typical FPL madness, right? Where I captained him last week. He gives me 2 points, and then I trade him out. And then he goes on and punch up Bassi and gets a hat trick tonight. So I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna leave him be as captain tonight. But if he stinks this up, I'll go. You know. But I don't know how the hell Mo Salah is still 14 million in FPL. How is that even justifiable? Salty. Captain Mateta versus Burnley. That's a shout. That is a shout. Best front three: Haaland, Thiago, Mateta. You know, I might look at it. I'll revisit my my FPL after I get off stream. But Saliba, people, the Saliba thing, it's a knock. It's listed as a knock. And that doesn't tell us much, does it? Because we've seen players, Arteta will come out and say a player has a knock, and then we don't see him for 3 months. And then he'll come out and say a player trained this week and they're in contention for starting, and then we don't see him for a month. And then he will say the same thing, and then the player starts the next game. So we have no idea. Like, I don't know what advantage he thinks he gets by playing these mind games with the injuries and all this stuff, but I don't anticipate Saliba starting, right? So the big squad that we praised, and I say we, I'm talking about the Arsenal fan base, and all-encompassing, because sometimes it's very hard to separate ourselves from that bunch, right? Because no one says, you know, this Arsenal fan, that Arsenal fans. They lump us all together, all of us. You know, when Julian went on AFTV and blamed the Queen's death for the scheduling reschedule, you know, you look in the comment section, it wasn't this Arsenal fan from AFTV named Julian said this stupid shit. They just captioned it and said Arsenal fans, plural, broad brush settings, just painted everyone, blame the Queen's death while they bottled the league. Yeah. So when I say we, it's all encompassing. It's very difficult to separate ourselves from that bunch. The squad depth that was being lauded, now is the time to use it. Right? I was always looking forward to the December fixture congestion, right? And here we have 8 Premier League games, along with some Champions League fixtures and the EFL Cup game in the month. If our squad is as deep as it is, advantage us versus everyone else. Gomez, my GOAT, one issue ahead with his game versus West Ham. He passed to Gakpo. He could have scored his first. Gomez, is that a true thing? He has never scored a goal for Liverpool. Ah. I heard that. I think I've heard mention of that one time. Salah will be benched tonight, and I think he starts at the weekend. Do you have at the weekend? Leads away. Okay. The press conference was the biggest bunch of garbage I've heard from him, from the questions being asked, the responses given. That it's like he consults with his media team before he goes out, and then he knows how to pivot very well to questions. You know, he'll run for office whenever he leaves football. You know, like Romario. You know, Romario is like a senator in Brazil or something. You know, I think when Mikel leaves football, he'll go into politics because he's very good at pivoting. But if it gives us a competitive advantage from him not answering these questions when it comes to injuries, who knows? We'll see what Mascara and Hincapié got. Show your worth. You know, it's difficult for they started together in the EFL Cup game versus Brighton at home, and they did well, right? 2-0 clean sheet. But I think Hincapié came off in the 70th minute, and I don't remember if it was Gabriel or Saliba that came on. But they started that game, and since then, it's a League Cup game. Even though it was against a Premier League team, there is distinction to be made. And this was their first start together in a Premier League game away at Chelsea. Tough game. They made a couple of mistakes here and there, but I'm going to double down. I don't think they cost us that game. I don't think we lost that game because of our defense or our center backs specifically. Our defense in general, our center backs in particular. They scored from a set piece. Obviously, whenever Saliba and Gabriel goes out your team, you will have a drop-off. They're the best center back pairing for a reason. That you can't have 4 of those in your team. But I do expect them to get better. Right. So if you were to rate their center back performance as a pairing, right, what would we give it? A 6? Because they weren't terrible. They made a couple of mistakes here and there, but that's expected, right? So say we give them a 6 based on how they perform together. Anything above that, a 7, 8 performance from your center back partnerships, it's good. I see you guys dropping points this game week. Not gonna lie. Blinders on. I don't see it. I don't see nothing but 6 points. This today and the weekend. Tiago is too good. Think we can handle Tiago. Big up to Gunner Street, Steph. What you telling me, bro? Nah, he hasn't scored a goal for us. That's mad, but you know, it's center back still. What changes would you make for Brentford? Gonna have to rest players, especially after the knocks. Yeah, Declan has to rest, man. Declan has to rest. Timber has to rest. I'll definitely rest those two. But so Benjamin White would come in. I'd actually play Odegaard and Eze together and rest Declan. I play Zubi in a lone 6. And then, I don't know, depending on Trossard's fitness, who goes on the left wing. Probably play Martinelli again. He can't get any worse than he did against Chelsea. But I'd actually play Nani right wing and rest Saka as well. Resting for the game. Still in the matchday squad on the bench, but I wouldn't start him. Big up to UD. Make sure that we sub into Goal Oi people, formerly known as Loudmouth Football. And make sure we're subbing to Steph on Gunner Street as well. Liverpool and Arsenal fans, respectively. Social joints say a 5. So yeah, so an average performance being thrown into the wolves at Stamford Bridge. Any improvement upon that takes us to a 6-7. I think we'll be okay. Because we saw Mosquera step in at Anfield when Saliba got hurt. He was next to Gabriel, didn't put a foot wrong. So I give it I think a 6 would have been fine. But I don't think they'll have a worse performance against Brentford at home than they did Chelsea away. So I think they'll be fine. Just no more injuries. So training sessions need to be light from here on out. These intense training sessions with these managers picking up muscular injuries over and over and over again. We gotta chill with those. So what you expect people to single out the idiot from the group, or just know their people are idiots over there? Ali Robo Gomez, VVD, Grabber Savoza Verts, Gakpo, Hugo, Isak. So who gets left out? Okay, so you're leaving out McAllister. Okay, fair. Still need to work on heading, high line, and build-up play. So they are at a 5. So I do agree with you there. They did seem to have an issue passing out from the back, especially Mosquera, because he has this diagonal pass that he tries to make. And when it works, it's beautiful. But he telegraphs the pass too easily to the point where Reece James was just running across and just intercepting it every time. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of air underneath it, But yeah, if there was something that they needed to work on in training this week, that would have been it. Big up Mr. Pads in the house. Hope you are good. Where we at? Vert's criminally underrated. GA is low, but the chances he makes are there. I don't know. I don't see it. I see it for Germany, and I see it in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, I think him, Mosquera, Nkapie, Zubimendi, I think quite a few men are having a hard time adjusting to the Premier League their first time. But I think they'll get it, because it doesn't apply to everyone, because it's not applying to Ekatike. He's hit the ground running. Big up Mr. Pads. 24 likes, 32 watching. I can vibe with that. Man, big up, man. Big up to everyone locked in. But those, I'll probably be back tomorrow morning, or I'll be back later with predictions for tomorrow's game, because a lot can happen in 24 hours, yeah? A lot can happen in a New York minute. There was you remember, was it French Montana? Jadakiss did a song a couple years ago, in New York Minute, and everything can change. So a lot can happen in 48 hours. A New York Minute is 48 hours or 24 hours between now and tomorrow. A lot can happen. We can hear that someone else is injured in training. We can hear that Havertz is all of a sudden he's a mutant and he's healed and he's fitting back. And Gabriel Jesus was on the bench. So he starts tomorrow. Listen, a lot can happen in a New York Minute. So I won't even pre-our game tomorrow too tough. But I do think I think we'll have enough to get by, and then we'll look at Villa, right? Chelsea's in the review. We're looking forward. We're looking that way. Jada Kiss is one of the best in the game. Fucks with Kiss, man. KR, two of them swirl things. One more shot, and I'll be doing the Earl thing. Yeah, man. I fucks with Jada. That's my dude. Big him up, 26 likes. But people, I think I made it. I think I was able to get a stream in under an hour today. I had to get one in under an hour because I do have some some therapy. Therapy is Tuesday and Thursday heavy. I do a knee and ankle session. Heavy stuff. Trying to get back on the pitch, kicking ball. So I was able to keep it under an hour today. Love, people. Y'all are some absolute legends, you know. The way Una make the time fly by is nothing short of magical. Mr. Pat said, I need a Jadakiss versus Dipset. Versus Dipset performance against. Oh, okay. I need a Jadakiss versus Dipset-esque version against Bradford. Oh, so one-way traffic, slaughterhouse, make them, hey, throw the flag in, throw the towel in. I can hear that. That's that. That'll be mad. Because we need that, right? We need to bounce back from this. Like I said earlier, that we need to make sure or the club needs to make sure that we forget what happened at Stamford Bridge. Not gonna lie. Oh shit, man. What's going on with my YouTube over here? I'm trying to look for who's live so I can redirect. And it's not showing me. None of my folks. No one that we like. Anyway. Or I'm not doing this right. There we go. Found them. Found them, people. Yeah, man, we need that. Definitely need that. We're going to go with what Mr. Pence says. Brentford being Dipset. Dipset. Manners and respect, nice and decent people. Like I always say before I leave this stream, I greatly appreciate you. Listen, people, if there is anything that you want to see from the BBK sports family, you know, like you go to those restaurants and you see those suggestion boxes, put it in there. Put it in the chat, put it in the comment section, put it in the video afterwards. I am a man of the people. I will listen. Yeah, whether it be panel shows and the guests that you know I might have contacts with that you want to see on the panel, just let me know. If you want me to do panel shows on BBK Sports, just let me know. I'm here to listen. But like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are